Hello, guys. Welcome back to Great Fire Podcast. I'm your host, Trey Bate, a.k.a. Trey Bate Knows Boxing.
And I'm Willie Mack.
So, guys, we have a very special guest today, Dylan Lipari.
What's up, guys?
Dylan.
All right. So, guys, Dylan is the owner, one of the owners of SupeRare Fight Goods, where the world gets their fight gear and favorite clothing. All right. So Dylan, let me ask you a quick question. If money wasn't a factor, right? If money wasn't, let's say, if you didn't have to work for money, what would you do with the rest of your life?
Wow. Leading this off with a profound one. What would I do? I mean, ideally, man, dude, I'd blow this business up.
Close to the mic.
I'd blow this business up, man. I'd do a lot of cool things, man. I bring a lot of brands over to, America that are just hard to get.
Uh-huh.
I would do cool things with SupeRare, to be totally honest, man. I work so frequently that if I didn't love what I do, I'd be miserable, and I'm perpetually in a good mood. So, like, if money wasn't a factor, I'd still probably be doing this, just on a way bigger scale. Like, give people in the combat sport community jobs, create jobs in a really cool community with really dope people who get to do things they're actually passionate about. That's awesome.
All right. So wait, really quick, what is SupeRare? Like, let's tell the people what that is exactly.
What it means.
Yeah, what it means.
Okay, so we pronounce it SupeRare, just to clear that to everybody. I do love that people argue. So people like SupeRare or like SupeRare. I get that one a lot, which is actually accurate. It's a derivative of Latin. It's an Italian word. This is what we pulled it from. It means to overcome, to supersede. So for the first 5 years of being in business, we were called East Coast MMA, which is, we built a brand behind that, but we wanted to open up in Los Angeles, and it doesn't really make sense to be called East Coast MMA in Los Angeles. Also, we want more than just people who train to wear our stuff. We wanted to be more of like a combat sport lifestyle store. And our brand to be looked at as such, like dope gear of great quality, but then also like you don't need to train to wear a SupeRare shirt and not feel like you're posing or something like that.
That's true. And
we wanted something fight adjacent, and I know my brother would kill me if I didn't give him the full credit. It was my brother's idea. Naming something is hard, man.
It definitely is.
And having it actually have real meaning. Like the community that we all love, like boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, is built on passion.
Uh-huh.
I'm never be a professional fighter, and I train so frequently for no other reason other than I love it, man. So like, it had to mean something. So SupeRare or SupeRare means to overcome, to supersede, which is a lot of the that's some major ideals of fighting. So that's where it comes from.
Oh, nice. So you are from New York, right?
Born and raised in
New York. So comparing, let's say, New York to LA, what is like the major difference, or like, let's say, two major differences that you've noticed?
I don't know if you just saw my face light up. I'm so happy you asked me that question. Number one, bagels, my man.
Bagels.
I haven't flown in from New York because these bagels don't apparently exist outside of New York City. They say it's the water. I don't know, but bagels, number one. Number two.
Bagels.
Right off the bat. I know people are probably expecting me next to say pizza. No, LA's got good pizza. The only difference is that you can't get a slice, like a good slice. I can walk and not break stride in New York and
true.
get a slice and pay for it and still keep my pace and walk.
So there's no places like on Melrose?
No. I mean, Sal's is dope. Just for the record, there's a place by my store called Sal's who makes a good pie, but like you got to wait.
Yeah.
Like it's not like pizza's a part of our culture, but that is not number two. Number two is driving everywhere. That's a big one. Not used to having a car and like everything's so far away. Like,
I guess that's another factor too, like having a car and not, or needing a car in LA versus not really needing one in New York.
No, not needing one in New York. And then another one, I'm giving you three, and you guys can't do anything about it.
Go ahead, brother.
I'm giving you three. So there are so many gyms in just Los Angeles, California. It is crazy. In New York, we have a lot of good ones, a lot of gyms, but that's a big shock because a big part of our store is that we're a part of the community.
Absolutely.
That's a big part of our store. Like I train, my brother trains, our partner Pat, he also trains. He's probably the most dangerous out of all of us. Definitely the most dangerous out of all of us, probably. But he, that's a big thing. So I like to go train at the gyms as frequently as I can, different gyms, and just meet people who shop in my store, who know my store, who don't know my store. I don't care. Just as long as they know that the dude who owns the store trains.
Absolutely.
Loves this stuff. So, man, when I looked up all the gyms here, dude, I was like, my jaw just like, what? I was like, some gyms are next door to each other. There's like a jiu-jitsu school here and a jiu-jitsu school here, and like one does no gi, one does gi, and it's just like, wow.
So really quick, as far as like gyms, I definitely got to ask you this question. You have a pretty decent relationship with Rumble Boxing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm friendly with all a lot of the trainers there.
Okay, awesome. Because I mean, they're kind of like making some of the moves that you're making. Like as far as you starting like being in New York and kind of spreading out, coming to Los Angeles and moving around California.
We are. I mean, no, they're on a much larger scale than
yeah.
Just FYI.
Yeah, I'm hearing. Yeah.
They're definitely on a much larger scale than us. It's we've been open for almost 8 years now. They're
That's
definitely
nice.
like new, but like they're different. We're a retail store. They're a hell of a cardio workout. Like place to get in shape, and so they're just they're expanding really fast.
Really fast.
We are, it's me, my brother, and Pat, man. It's us three. That's it. There's no one else.
So Pat is like a really good friend of yours, like
Pat. Yeah,
family friend.
No, not family. We met him through the store.
Really?
Yeah. He met my brother, and then he met me, and then he, just luckily we all got along. But it was like we work very well together. Like what our strengths are really good, and what our weaknesses are, we can play off of them and make up for it because those are my strengths or my brother's strengths or Pat's strengths, and it works really well, man. But it's just us three.
That's awesome. It's the big three.
Got to have it, man.
The thing with just being in New York is if you can make it there, you could this is a tough city too. I feel like if you can make it in both cities, you
can make it anywhere.
You really do have something special. So. That's why we opened up here. That and I'm just freaking tired of snow, man. No more snow.
Man.
Yeah, we don't have too much snow out here. Really quick, let's talk about fashion and fitness. Because, you guys have like an assortment of, really unique products, not just gloves, but like all types of products. Of course, you guys have like a lot of female wear and stuff like that. So as far as that goes, how important is it to have women or to get women involved in combat sports or
dude, it's awesome. Like 50% of our business is women, which is great because these sports are for everybody, man. Like that is what we are trying to preach.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, like who you are, what you do for a living, where you like what you've done in the past, like to a degree, but like men, women, kids, it doesn't matter. Like you show up, you have no ego. You're there to learn and you train and you make a ton of new friends. You learn a useful skill and you get in shape.
Yeah.
And so it's really awesome that more and more women are becoming more comfortable in something that is very clearly dominated by dudes. And not only that, but the stereotype is like not the most pleasant dude.
Absolutely.
So, like,
Exactly.
so I think it's really great, man. Like I want everyone to train. If everyone would train, I think we'd be in a much better place as like a society.
For sure.
And at least you'd be able to weed out the fucking douchebags, man. Like, like at least like they'd be sticking out like a sore thumb. So like, I'm all for it, dude. Like we're trying to expand our women's line because a lot of the stuff that's made for women, especially in the space, like sucks, dude. Like, it's just like. It's like overly feminine, and it's made by like dudes who like aren't women who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But like, there's one thing we're good at is just knowing we don't understand. So we like take a lot of feedback from our female customers and try and just incorporate that into the stuff we make for ladies.
It's good business.
Yeah, and it's funny because that kind of segues into what I was going to ask you now. As far as the process of like some of the designs. Like, let's say the Tiffany, is that the Tiffany?
Oh, they're called the Sterlings.
The Sterlings. Let me get that right. So it's Tiffany. Don't come at me, or don't come at me. And then you have like another one. What's the other one? There's the newest one that you have. It's
there's a Showtimes.
The LA.
Yeah.
LA Laker. Yeah.
The Laker colors for sure.
So as far as the designs, how involved are you?
To be totally honest, that is my brother's wheelhouse wholeheartedly. I give him all the credit. I'm like a proud younger brother.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I run all the retail and operations, like the real fun stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, no, to me, it's a blast. I have a super extensive retail background. Like that's what I did. That's how, if the question in there is how did SupeRare start, then you'll learn, how I ended up here. But, that's all my brother. He kills it. He handles a lot of the design and stuff, but I get to sit there and watch them be sold because I'm the guy you're going to see in the store, which is my favorite. I love meeting everybody. That's my goal, is to meet everyone who shops in the store.
Yeah.
And be like, thank you.
Yeah.
This is dope. Come back and just see their experience because I think it's cool, man. I love this, and I want to make sure everyone else loves it. But I get to watch them sell, and I get to hear people's reactions and hear them talk. And my brother does too. He works on the sales floor. He likes to pop out a lot. He's mostly in New York, in our stores there. But I get to watch him, and it's cool, from my perspective. But to be totally honest, I'll put in my 2 cents if he asks sometimes, but he's good at it, man. And he doesn't need my 2 cents. That's his thing. I'll throw out some ideas maybe for jiu-jitsu stuff, because that's definitely more my wheelhouse. I live in that, environment. I train very frequently, 5 days a week when I'm in New York, especially because, I just love jiu-jitsu. So I can throw in my 2 cents there, but the gloves especially, it's all him, dude. He's really good at it, man. And they do well, and he puts a lot of work into them, and it's really cool to watch the people's reactions and see that they do well. I use them also.
So who? How did SupeRare start?
Oh, well,
let's get on it.
Let's do it, man. So my brother started it. He started it because he graduated from college with a degree in sports management, and he could not. It's very hard to find a job there. And he, trained Muay Thai and loved MMA, and saw that there was no stores that were pleasant to go into. Right? It's that were, most of these stores were martial arts supply stores.
Absolutely.
And not necessarily always buying the real stuff, and their main business is usually selling wholesale, so anyone that walks into their store is kind of extra money, and they don't really care.
True.
So really, so my brother started East Coast MMA on Long Island in Rockville Center. That store is still there currently to this day, killing it.
Is it under SupeRare or is it under East Coast?
It's under SupeRare. Okay. All the stores are SupeRare.
Okay.
So he did that by himself for 3.5, 4 years. And then... That's
no joke.
I was a touring musician for a long time, and then when people stopped buying music, I transitioned into retail. I was very good at it. Yeah. So I helped open up all 3 Tilly's locations in New York City.
Yeah.
And then I got recruited by Aldo, and then I got recruited by Stuart Weissman. I was, running stores and learning how these people, ran multiple locations worldwide at super high volumes, millions and millions of dollars. So then also Stuart Weissman's a luxury brand, so I learned kind of that higher end, how they run their business and what their standards are. And my brother was like, "Hey, dude, I got a retail store.
You're the perfect person for it. Yeah.
Let's do some things." And I'm like, I would tell him I would love to. That's great, but I make stupid money, and I'm this is easy to me. What people deem in corporate retail as a good job was to me mediocre work. And I was
Absolutely.
This is dope. I can do my best, and they're like, you are you're awesome at this.
Yeah.
I'm sick. That's cool. So I always said, when you want to open up in New York City and really expand this, hell yeah, let's do this. So then he was like, "Hey, dude, I want to open up in New York City and really expand this." So I was like, "I'm in. Let's go." New family business. Our parents own beauty salons, and I have no hair. And I don't think my brother wants to cut hair, so not really our thing.
Yeah.
So we opened up in New York City. We met Pat, and we all teamed up. And then we opened up New York City, and that took off. A lot of the people that knew us from Long Island already. We had a good reputation, of doing right by people. Right. We keep everything at MSRP for the most part. And if anything's a little more than the manufacturer, suggested retail, we will always tell you, and we'll never tell you it's the least expensive ever. We're Absolutely. A real business. There's always a rhyme to where we keep everything at the right price, and we always have your best interest in mind. And that got around. And so New York kind of took off really quickly, and it was awesome. We got a lot of a lot of support from the combat sport community.
For sure.
And now it's an animal. We get people from all over the world. Like most of South America. We're the biggest fight shop in South America. Definitely.
That's what I like. I like that.
Which is awesome. Like we get people in our New York store all the time from Argentina, from Chile, Costa Rica, Brazil. Like it's awesome. I'm like slowly kind of learning so many different kinds of Spanish and Portuguese.
Really quick, you guys have an online store as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like, and like the more people shop in our stores, the more people go to our website because they know who's packing up their stuff. 9 times out of 10, it's me. One of the owners of the business is packing up your web order.
That's really nice.
Sometimes I write stupid notes on the packing slips.
What was one of them?
Oh no, like just like hey, thanks for the support, or like or if I notice someone, I just did this today actually. If I notice someone's ordering a lot of wraps from us, like if I remember the name, I'm like, do you not wash your wraps? Like
that's nice.
Like there's something like silly. I always sign it Dylan because, like I said, like if you're gonna know anybody and like just not know us from training or anything, it's probably gonna be me because I'm the guy that's I run the retail. I'm like always there. I'm always there with the staff because our staff is our family and we only hire people that train.
Absolutely. That's good.
That's important because they're helping, your students and other people's students with protective gear.
Absolutely.
So then LA, we wanted to open up in Boston, which goes against everything that, I believe in as a New Yorker. But I'm kidding. Boston's a beautiful city. Like, I cannot stand the Patriots, but that's neither here nor there.
Absolutely.
We tried, but it's very difficult for like a retail store. Like the spaces just are too small. And like the only space that was big enough was on Newberry Street. And like that's a big street there.
Yeah.
People like no one shops on Newberry Street. And we're like, oh, sick. Okay. The guys at Bodega were like, don't open up on Newberry Street. And we're like, cool. That's all I need to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
So then we were like, where else can we open? Like who has a great fight community and good tourism, and it's just a pleasant place to be. We're like, LA.
Absolutely.
LA is a good option. This is the first Muay Thai school in America is here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
The Gracie family came over more at San Diego, but like, Southern California as a whole.
I mean, they've done a lot of, or they have a lot of places opened up, or they've been open up for years. In, Culver City and South Bay.
Oh, dude.
South Bay area.
If there is more than 10,000 people in any particular area, there is a Gracie or Gracie Baja school.
I did see one in the South Bay area too.
Which is great.
There's
Spread jiu-jitsu everywhere, man.
Absolutely.
Like it's a functional skill that if you start when you're young instead of like karate, which is still functional. I'm not by no means talking bad about karate. I just think jiu-jitsu is more functional.
Yeah.
If you start them at a young age, you will have a 16-year-old killer.
For sure.
If they take it seriously.
Yeah.
But I wish I started when I was that young. But like jiu-jitsu came to America in Southern California.
Yeah.
So we decided that it would be cool to open up in LA, regardless of the fact that we have some mild competition out here. I mean, we could have opened up in literally any other city in the country and not had any competition.
Wait, but who is your competition?
There are other places you could walk into and buy a boxing glove. That's
of course.
but
it's not it's not SupeRare.
No, it's not. And the service that I'm selling is service, and honesty.
Absolutely.
And real products from the manufacturer, licensed resellers of these things. And just an experience where you feel like you're excited to go to. You wake up and you're like, yes, I get to go to SupeRare today.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the idea. And we're always excited to see you.
I know a lot of people who actually are like that. Like, Josh, right?
Yeah.
Josh Pollard.
Dude,
Amanda,
Josh is my homie. I love that man.
Sophia.
Yeah, all of them.
They love.
And dude, we love seeing them. That's my
yeah.
favorite, dude. Like, and I love when someone's like, oh, so-and-so sent me. That's my favorite, man. Like,
absolutely.
Awesome. And like now it's my job to make so-and-so look even better to their students.
Yes, absolutely.
That's my mentality is it's all one community, man. Like I want you to keep training people and make this your living forever.
For sure. Absolutely.
And like I want my stores to be around forever.
Yeah.
So like I talk to people who come in my store like, oh, there's a boxing gym down my street. I never thought I could do it. I'm going to be terrible. Yeah. Like go in there with that mindset and you'll do just fine.
For sure.
You're going to be terrible.
That's very
know
true.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and there's a million friends waiting for you.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this stuff. So like the more people that come in that can talk to my staff or talk to me and be like, and we can get them to walk into like a Wild Card or Box and Burn or a Prevail or anything to get their feet wet. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Now we have a new person in the community to be friends with because generally if you stick with it for like a month or so, like you have
gonna
decent
get better.
morals.
You're gonna
it's
get
not even
better.
just that. You're a decent human.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't be like, it's pretty douchebag free zone. Not entirely, but most of the time, most people,
Majority, yeah.
like if I'm on the, you know, my favorite story, I'm on the train, right? And there's a girl. And she has like that straight New York subway face look, like, do not talk to me. I do not care if the person next to me is on fire. Like, do not acknowledge me. So I see she has like a bag from like a jiu-jitsu gis sometimes come in like a drawstring bag.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
absolutely.
recognized it. It very well could have been from my store. Later on, I find out it wasn't. But she has her headphones in, so I'm happen to be here, like looking down at her, like this is her. And it's awkward. And I see her bag, and I point at her earphones to take them out. And eventually she looks disgusted at me, and she does. She's like, you better fucking have something good to say. And I was like, oh, where do you train at? Her whole fucking tune changed, dude. Wow. Her face went from like straight, like resting bitch face to like, I was like, awesome. And like, you know, I just, well, you know, and I told her, I was like, I train with Marcelo Garcia. She was like, oh, sick. Like, she's like, I train at Clockwork, which is a dope gym in New York and in Soho. And I was just like, sick. I only been training. I told her about my store. She has heard of it. She never went yet. And I was like, sick, like, come by. And now she shops in my store. Yeah. But like, it's cool. That girl wanted to talk to nobody, but I told her I did jiu-jitsu, and she automatically was able to assume that, like, I wasn't hitting on her. I didn't have a hidden agenda. I just genuinely was like, oh, sick. Like, I do this too. Let's be friends.
Absolutely.
And so, like, that's the power of this community.
Absolutely.
The more people I can pull into it, like, that's, you know.
So you have more than 2 locations, right?
We have 3. We have Long Island, New York City, Los Angeles.
Okay. Absolutely. That definitely makes sense. Yeah, so let's talk about something really quick. Let's talk about MMA and boxing. I want to know, who is your favorite fighter from each? Who's your favorite current fighter from each sport?
I feel like people are going to judge the hell out of me for my favorite MMA fighter. I don't really, that's hard, 'cause I like a lot of people, to be totally honest. But like, you can't not, like, recent antics aside, like, Conor McGregor is so good, dude.
He
like,
really is. Like, people don't understand. He's win or lose, he's very talented.
He's talented so good at fighting, man.
Yeah.
And if I'm really being, like, I love Dustin Poirier too. I'm like stoked to see him fight tomorrow. Guy's super violent, and I love it. But like, fuck, man. Like, Conor's so, look what he did. Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
Unbeatable.
Yeah.
Knocks him out one punch. I mean, like, not only does he knock him out one punch, you watch that slow-mo, if you strike and you like, I'm still very much a student of striking. You know, that is definitely the newer portion of this for me. But, you know, when one of the guys I work with like for Muay Thai, his name's Eddie, great human at Trinity, and he was like explaining to me, he always explains that punch, because I have a hard time always turning my crossover.
You southpaw?
I am Orthodox.
Okay, Orthodox.
So I have a hard time turning my crossover sometimes, or I forget to, because, you know, I'm new and I'm in my own head. But he always references that. He's always like, be long with it. Like, he references how good Conor McGregor is, because he shows Jose Aldo pretty much slapped him, like pushed him. As Conor extended fully, and he's so
He got caught
good,
him at the
dude.
end of his punch and maximized
so
the output of it.
Good.
Yeah.
So it's him. Like, I freaking love that guy, man. Like, like I said, recent antics aside, I am a huge fan of his fighting. I think he's fantastic.
What about a boxer?
So now, boxing is, I have 2. I have one that I really, really, really enjoy. And it's, he happens to be a friend of mine, but I love, Jarrell Big Baby Miller is my homie.
I like him.
I like him. I like him because I feel like I think when he finally gets a shot, he's going to do way better.
He's probably the number 1 underdog.
Dude, this man fought Mikro Crow Crop twice in kickboxing, and definitely beat him once. Definitely beat him once in Croatia, but lost to a decision, because you can't fight Crow Crop in Croatia and expect to win if you don't kill him. Yeah, if you don't kill him in the ring, you're going to lose that fight. But I think he's going to do. I think he's going to do much better against one of, like, the 2 dudes that he would fight, hopefully eventually, Joshua or Wilder. Much better than anyone thinks. I think he has a real shot at winning.
He's in a very, very good spot right now. He's in a great spot. Whether he wins or loses,
and he's got
in
the
a good spot to
personality boxing needs, man, because he has a personality. like a good one and like a friendly one. So now I've watched this guy come up before I was even involved in this company. I used to hang out with him over at Henzo's in Brooklyn.
Nice.
I think he'd be an awesome MMA fighter, by the way. I want him to start wrestling. I think he'd kill it. But
is he from Brooklyn or Brownsville?
He's from Brooklyn.
Okay,
he's from Bushwick, which is Brooklyn.
Okay.
So is Brownsville, by the way.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like next to each other. But I've watched this. I've known him before anyone knew who he was. He's and so is my brother. My brother and him go way back, and this guy's worked really freaking hard.
Yeah.
So like boxing's a little tough for me to have like a favorite otherwise because. Like I could say Triple G. I love watching Triple G.
He's very talented.
My favorite thing in the world is watching a replay of Canelo like really sneakily hit Triple G from behind his back when he has him in like a headlock kind of. And I love both of those guys. And if you're talking about, it doesn't even have to be non-active boxers. We're talking about greatest boxers of all, like my favorite period.
Yeah.
There's so many great people. Like Jack Johnson's definitely up there.
For sure.
Wasn't clearly even, no one in my family was probably alive when that man was boxing. But, I've definitely learned enough about that man to wholeheartedly respect everything he did.
Yeah.
James Braddock, being from New York, it's hard not to love that guy. But like Jarrell Miller, man, I've watched that guy work real hard. And like to me, boxing, the difference between Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu is that they started as disciplines. They are cultural institutions in the cultures that they come from. Boxing has always been a sport.
Yeah.
So Western boxing is a sport.
Right.
And so it's an individual sport. So at least, for me, I need to have a connection with the person. If he's going to be my favorite boxer, like it's almost like picking a team, no?
That's very true. Very true.
So I'm team Big Baby.
Absolutely.
All the way.
That makes sense.
Right? Like, yeah.
Hey, yo, I also saw that on your vlog that Nate Diaz stopped by your shop, right?
Yes.
How is he like behind the scenes, man?
I wish my brother was here to defer to him because I was in Los Angeles watching that from our security cameras.
Oh, yeah. You got the scoop.
to be totally honest. But he was very nice from what everyone was told. He did punch my friend Dan in the stomach.
That's good. That's good.
Wait, on his request.
No, he deserved it.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
There's never a time
So
Dan
he was on the East Coast at that time?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We like to do cool things like that for the community, man. Our first signing ever was Robbie Lawler, Wayne Barrett, and Luke Rockhold. That was cool.
That's really cool.
And we've had like Lyoto Machida.
I actually trained with the guy before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah.
We've had our buddy Dennis Bermudez. We've had now Nate Diaz. But like, it's difficult, especially with schedules and stuff like that. So we haven't done a lot recently, but I'd like to do more. Most of the time, though, at any given time, you can walk in and be shopping next to like anybody. Like,
That's true.
There was once a time when we were crazy busy, dude. Like it was just me too. Like I think someone called out in New York. I don't remember what happened. It was me, and I had a store of like 30 people all shopping. And our New York store is smaller than LA store, so it was a lot of people. All of a sudden, 3 black vans pull up, and I look at the girl I'm helping with gloves, and I'm like, yo, I think one of us is about to be kidnapped. out of these vans come Dana White, Matt Serra, and like John Volante, who is my spirit animal. And Dana kicks the door open, and he's like, what's up, motherfuckers? And he's like, they were there looking to film Looking for a Fight, which is his YouTube show. And so Dana comes in with John and with Matt Serra, and then like a 20-person camera crew. So now there's like 50 people in my store, and it's just me.
I would have been blown away.
Dude, it was. The thing is that the whole point of them coming to the store, eventually, the end of that story is that we got edited out of Looking for a Fight. And to this day, I ran into Dana at the Andre the Giant premiere. And he was like, I was told him, I was like, dude, like, what were we, too ugly? He laughed. He's a really, really, really nice guy. But it's so it was that was crazy, man. That was so like and everyone in the store that day was like, what?
Yeah.
So
Wait, so he didn't call before, he just like showed up?
That was the whole thing. Like the first time he came by, he called because we were about to close.
Yeah.
And he was like, you guys mind? We were like, no, dude.
No, not
like,
at all.
I don't know. Like, I don't really know who you are, but like, we'll hang. Like, no, like, of course, man. Like, that guy, say what you will about him. He's always been super cool to me. Without him, we couldn't have successful stores like this.
Absolutely.
He made the UFC not look like a spectacle.
For sure.
He made it be taken seriously like a sport.
Yeah.
So without this guy, we might not have the a lot of the super celebs that help grow these sports even more.
I will say this, up until recently with the whole Brock Lesnar DC thing, that looked a little bit staged. But the fight will be real. The fight is going to be real.
Yeah,
like that situation.
That man has to be drug tested literally every minute of every every day.
Yeah.
Like not DC. DC's the homie, dude.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
that was tough too because DC. I get tagged in photos of DC wearing our T-shirts. I have no idea how he gets them. I don't know because he's never been in the store. But like Stipe has been in the store, and he always he's the nicest human ever. Like
everybody
it's
says that. Yeah, because he's been by the gym, but I wasn't there at the time. And everybody said he's really the dopest guy.
Dude, he calls everyone sir. I'm like, dude, you're the baddest man on the planet. Did anyone tell you yet? Like you don't have to call me sir. I'll be calling you sir, sir. Yeah. But yeah, like watching those two fight, it was hard to pick. Especially since I watched that fight with someone who's good friends with DC. And he's like, who are you rooting for? And I was like, Stipe. But like, fuck, dude, I forgot what the question was. So I don't even know if I've answered it. But if I have,
Because I had like one more for you.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
Speaking of that, who will be that one person that will blow your mind if they walk through the doors at your shop? That one person.
I'm pretty unfazed, man. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Like, that's why I think we get like a lot of celebrity clientele because 99% of the time I will not recognize you. I live under a freaking rock.
Yeah, that's how I am sometimes too.
Like me.
So like, if I do recognize you, like sick. Like I do what I love for a living, and if you love what you do for a living, clearly you do because it's made you famous. Like, sick. That's cool. Otherwise, like you're another human being, and I will treat you no differently.
That's cool.
Yeah.
For real, like it's especially being out here in LA. But like really though, I recognize nobody ever. I'm really particularly bad at that. But oh, dude, I can actually answer this easily. Travis Barker.
Really?
Yeah. If I ever met that man, so I was a touring drummer for 10 years. I started playing drums because of Blink-182. 100%. I was 13 when Enema of the State came out, and I was like, I need to do what they do for a living for as long as I can.
Yeah.
And I did from the age of like 13 to like 23, toured the country. But like that man, and without that life experience, I might not have ended up doing the retail thing, which would have put me here. And so that man has literally set my, I don't know, that's the dude, like Travis Barker. And I know my brother would probably say the same thing.
Travis Barker.
That's pretty sick. Well, you never know. Let's just say that.
Oh, I know he's over at Boxing Burn. Man.
Yeah.
I actually forgot until I said that, but no, that's like my genuine answer. Like that man is the best living drummer of my generation, and might be one of the best drummers of all time.
Yeah.
He is really good at what he does, man, and it was a pivotal point in my life when I discovered his drum playing.
So are you surprised about? Let's go into something else just a little bit. Are you surprised about the growth of the community in Los Angeles?
I love it, man.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
You guys haven't been here for a year, right?
Wow, dude, it's been like 7 months. It feels like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We opened up on my birthday, so our 1 year anniversary will also be my 30th birthday, so that'll be a wild time.
That is sick.
We're going to do some, I want to do some cool stuff. At least have sparklers. As long as sparklers there, it's been a successful party.
That's all one of my 30th fans.
So yeah, like it's only been 7 months, man. It's crazy. I feel like, it was really surreal. I went to WCK, is like or WKC, World Kickboxing Championship, over in Burbank.
Yeah.
And I was walking through, and it dawned on me that we've only been open for, at that point, almost 7 months. And when I was walking around just like to find the bathroom, because I'm an idiot and the place is a circle and it's so hard to find the bathroom, how many people would stop me like, oh, hey, Dylan, like how many people I've met already? It's wild.
Yeah, that's true.
It was mind-boggling. It was also like I blushed a little bit. It was the thing was dark, so I didn't look like an idiot. But like, it was really cool, man. Like I love that stuff, man. Like it's like I said earlier. I'm always blown away when someone walks in the store and is like, I want to buy something. I'm like, that's sick. I want to sell you something.
You see SupeRare going international?
Yeah, man, I would love to, dude. Like I'm the one that travels to all the stores all the time. That's what I signed up for. So that's like it's almost like touring. It reminds me of that, except I'm not moving from city to city, but. More people to train with, more like build my network better, but like not in like a networking way, but just knowing more people who
better
train,
relationships,
right?
Yeah.
Like that's not what life's about, man. I don't know. Just meeting other humans and getting to know them.
You guys sell boxing shoes as well or footwear?
Yeah, dude.
So let me see. Do you remember the shoes that Mayweather wore for his for the McGregor fight?
Yeah, the Reeboks.
No, they were Adidas.
No, Mayweather
For the McGregor fight.
I don't remember those.
Yeah, because they were.
I thought he was because we have the Mayweather McGregor editions, like the last left on the planet. But they're like the craziest side. Like there's no rhyme. Or we have like 111.5 left and like 9, which I cannot believe we still have. But like the black and gold and the white and gold with like the crocodile detail. Like we have those. I think McGregor wore those, but Mayweather usually wears Reebok.
He normally wears Reebok, but I remember for this fight specifically, he wore some Adidas, and they're like, I've never seen them before.
I'll try and find them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about those
anything.
and see. Yeah.
Josh Barnett came in my store, who is one of the coolest dudes ever, and he came in. He was like, I love winning scissors, but I can't find them here, and like I always forget to get them when I'm in Japan. So I was like, you need winning scissors? Like, I can get you winning scissors. I had them there in a week. You need anything, man. All the way from Japan.
I like that.
You know, I can try and find that. What I want to find is the shoes Brendan Schaub wore to that fight. These Gucci fucking boot things. I remember seeing them on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I was like, I want those so bad.
You know he trains with us too, right?
Really?
Every Wednesday morning.
That's
Thursday. Thursday
I think
morning,
that dude is killing it. I think that's awesome that man is doing so well.
Yeah, and the way that he from him, being a fighter, going into podcasting, and now having like a Showtime or HBO, I can't remember, but he's having like a really big special coming up, or I think it may have happened. I'm all over the place with that one, but from going from being a fighter to a podcaster to a comedian, I mean he's doing everything. He's doing anything and everything, and it's funny. I asked him like, would he ever fight again, or would he ever think, or would he ever coach? And he said, "Nah, I make way too much money doing what I do now."
Yeah, I mean,
more power to him.
Yeah, dude, like it's cool. I always liked him. Like I always think it's awesome. I think people need to support each other more and stop just hating. So like, I think it's dope as hell. He's doing well.
Absolutely.
I think more people should start acknowledging when people are doing well, rather than being like, "Hey, like that sucks and I hate it."
Everything that you're saying right now is something that I've been talking to people about for literally over a week. A lot of people talking about in our community or in the fitness community. That's probably like one of our biggest issues. We need to come together.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. But people are so bothered, and I think for me, from my experience, it's the people who are interested in learning more. The people who are about progressing, who are, I guess, criticized or attacked by the people who are not. People who are stagnant, and people who don't want to learn and think that they know everything.
And people who are jealous, man.
Absolutely.
Like, look at all the heat Rumble gets. Like that's like the elephant in the room. Everyone always wants to ask me that, my opinions on Rumble. Like I think they're great. I think it's a great way for people to get their feet wet and like be in a more comfortable atmosphere where they're at least hitting things.
Yeah.
And at least getting more comfortable putting gloves on.
Absolutely.
That might stem into someone again. Taking a step into Box and Burn, taking a step into Wildcard West, any of the billion gyms that are here in Los Angeles or New York. And saying, you know what, I actually really want to learn this.
And it's good for the sport overall.
Yeah, dude. The more people see boxing gloves anywhere and just puts it subconsciously in their brain, the better.
The better, yeah.
At the end of the day, like I think it's a good thing. So like, I think more, the more gyms that can open up, the better. But like, because there's a lot of people, but if people came together, expand the community even more. And that's the idea. People need to support each other, man.
Yeah. So, are you in a relationship right now?
Yes.
How long you been in a relationship?
4 years.
Nice.
I'm like a really good dude.
What's up, man? Real good stuff.
So let me ask you a question that's kind of related to that. It's just something I was thinking about. Does a ring size matter? Let's say I know you're not married, but let's say like if somebody's in a relationship and let's say it's a guy that's been he's well off, doing pretty well. Girlfriend is really doing pretty well. Relationship is solid. It's almost like they are married. But when he gets down on one knee, he presents it with, let's say, less than basic ring. Because in his mind, he feels that it's more about, the action rather than something rather than just having like that token or that.
The question is, does ring size, sorry, I work in finance, so ring size is the word. I like auto-corrected myself incorrectly. Ring size matter?
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't think it does, but I know who I am as a human, and I know I go over the freaking top all the time, so should I ever get down on one knee, which I may or may not do, like I love my girlfriend with all my heart.
Yeah.
She's on the same page as me. Like, honestly, like she said this first, but she's right. Like I think marriage is a little outdated.
It is. I'm glad that you're a lucky guy. You're a very lucky guy.
Yeah, no, she's dope, dude. Like I'm here in LA. I'm here for months at a time, dude. Like, and she's in New York. She's super cool.
Yeah.
Like, super supportive.
Yeah.
You know, she's smart as hell. She makes me a better human. Like, hopefully she sees this. Like, she probably won't. I'm saying this anyway.
Tell her go on YouTube. Man.
Does she do jiu-jitsu? Does she do any of those active
No, man.
sports?
I've been barking up that tree for real for a long time, and it's just a hard no. She texted me the other day.
Not
she
even
was
with
like,
you, like every...
No, well, like I tell her she'd have such a leg up in tickle fights, and she's, but like she's like I don't want to do it, and that's cool. Like you know, what I like doesn't have to be what you like, and honestly, some things should be kept separate.
Yeah.
You know, like
Absolutely.
I wake up 7 a.m. I wake up 6 a.m. and go to train at 7 a.m. like clockwork Monday through Friday when I'm in New York, and when I come back home to shower, if I don't shower there and go straight to the store, you know, she's there. She's like, how was training? I'm like, it was sick. She's like, how badly did you get beat up? I'm like, pretty fucking bad today. But like, what's funny is when we do get into those little scuffles, like the tickle fight things, I'll like get an underhook and like just like lift her off the ground with my hips or something, but she'll whizzer me and like drop her weight down. I'm like, this bitch. like, we've been watching YouTube videos of like Wrestling 101. What the hell? And like, but the thing is too, is that I'm very controlled. Like I'm barely putting hooks in because I don't want to put too much pressure on her thighs.
Yeah.
She will punch me in the nose, like
man.
full on. I'm like, okay, like maybe you don't need to train, just go all out like a fight.
She already got it.
Dude, we were once in Thailand, and she kept splashing me, and I was like, stop splashing me. She was like, no. So I hip tossed her, and it was perfect. And and so I went to do it again, and she ducked under and pop, knocked me out. I had a flash knockout. I went completely limp at that, and like
Really?
I came back too, and I was like. She's like, I am so sorry. I was like, no, the technique was perfect.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Like that was dope as hell. Are you sure you don't want to train? And like,
So you can honestly say that you've been knocked out by a girl.
almost. I was flash
almost.
knockout, but yes, there's no shame in that, dude. I get my butt whooped by some girls at Marcelo's, like, and like just girls who train, like, just because man, female doesn't matter. If you've been training at this longer than I have, chances are, regardless of your gender, and you're learning it right, you're gonna be better than me.
It's all about technique.
Yeah,
It really is.
100%, man. So like,
And women are naturally better at technique than men are. to some
Well,
extent.
like you know, with this. I don't know, like there's a good group of girls I know, and you know, at Marcelo's in New York at come to 7 a.m. who have definitely beaten me up. But there's no, I got no ego, man. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like I don't care. Like I've learned from it.
Yeah.
It's but yeah. So like yeah, my girlfriend definitely knocked me out. That was pretty dope. But like it's a great story. It's my favorite story.
So outside of running the store, what else do you do? Like, what is your favorite hobby? Besides jiu-jitsu and running the store.
Dude, I wish I had other hobbies that aren't running my store, jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. And like that sounds like I'm starting this off sad. It's not.
No,
but
that's
like I
actually
said,
a great
it is
thing. Yeah.
Literally just my brother, me, and Pat. So like our stores are growing really fast. So like it really requires like 20. I work like 20 hours a day. That is not an exaggeration, even a little bit. 7 days a week. And that's what it requires. Like I always tell people, like you want to do what you love for a living, like you got to put in the groundwork, and this shit
Absolutely.
takes up literally all of my
Everything.
time.
Yeah.
But like that's why my girlfriend's dope as hell too, is because she gets that. It's not easy. Like I literally work all the freaking time, but like I love it. So it's not so bad. But like that's literally my hobbies. Like I do like, I don't know, I'm really good at Overwatch. I'm like fucking really good at Overwatch and Madden. So like, but like that's how I unwind. Like I do spend my days talking and really trying to get to know people.
Yeah.
So when I get home, I usually don't want to talk. So like
Want to wind down.
yeah, so like that's how my brain just keeps going, man. So like I play it's like a fidget spinner, but I get to play Overwatch and talk shit to like 13-year-old kids.
Yeah, that is
always fun, man.
Like I play a little bit of Rules of Survival.
Yeah.
I play a little bit of that sometimes.
you get into
The Fortnite thing, I never got into the whole
Dude,
Fortnite
I tried to play Fortnite, but it gave me anxiety. Like, I thought you were supposed to fucking build forts. But every time I build a fort, I die in a storm, or some dude breaks my fort down, and then I die in that fort.
Yeah.
So, like, no one's building forts. It's fucking called Fortnite.
Yeah, it is pretty frustrating playing that game. That's why I just went over the Rules of Survival, because it's more to the point. Let's just say that.
Cheating,
it's more
man.
to the point. You just hop out the plane and you do what you got to do. So what is next for Dylan Lipari?
Figure out how to successfully and at the least level of stress run 3 stores simultaneously, with one closing and opening 3 hours after the other. And then open up the next store, man. Maybe take a vacation before. I take a vacation one specific time in my life, and it's before we open up another store.
Yeah.
So I was in Indonesia before we opened up LA because I knew I'd be working pretty much 7 days, like 2 years straight. I don't really take days off. So what's next is a vacation, man, and then open up another store somewhere cool. I can't tell you where we're talking about, but
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was thinking about asking him, but I'm like, nah, I'm not.
It might be a little, it could be a little east, it could be a little west. It could be in California, it could be in another country, it could be in Nebraska. Ooh.
Oh.
I like Nebraska. Nebraska's dope. FYI, I've been there a few times, but like it won't be in Nebraska. But,
I was gonna say I don't know where the clientele is, but
yeah, like that's so we have to be in a place where the community is strong, until it keeps growing. I'd love to have a store everywhere, man, in every mall, because I think the store could kill it no matter where it is, just on the clothing alone. But like where we're really considering next is very cool, but that won't be for a few years. Like we got a lot of work to do in LA, man. It's a huge combat sport. I have so many people to make friends with, and meet, and train with, and compete out here. Like I compete a lot when I'm in New York, and like I just really, really, really want to become as much of a part of this community as I am in the New York community, and that takes time, dude.
It's happening.
It has to be done right.
That's a cool thing about it. It's happening naturally.
Dude, you're just fucking...
Nothing is forced.
You're telling me. Yeah. I look at like our Instagram and the things people are tagging us in, or I'm in the store and people are saying like, oh, like I've always wanted to come to this store like ever since you guys were only in New York. And I'm like, sick, dude. That's really awesome. And then they say a lot of other nice things. And I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm Dylan. Like I own these stores. And they're like, that's awesome. And then we hug and I'm like...
And it's really dope because like to actually be there, like, because a lot of times you don't get to interact with the owner.
No, and I hope that never changes.
That's very, very unique.
Like, I hope that never stops, man. If I could be in that store all the time and everyone simultaneously, I would do it. But, like, that's why I'm here. And then I'm in New York, and then I'm back here, and then I'm back in New York, and then I'm back here until we open up a fourth one somewhere else. Then I'm there, then I'm here, then I'm here, and then it just keeps going. Eventually, I won't need an apartment because I'll just constantly be in different places.
Exactly, yeah. Like, you'll be living all over the planet.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. The next place we're going to open is probably on Mars. I heard they just discovered water.
Nice.
So, we're going to open up on Mars.
I'm sure it's probably a species out there that knows about boxing.
People call our store like, where can I park? I'm like, parking is actually very easy by the store. Yeah. If you go residential, always find a spot and it's free. Don't pay for a meter. Yeah. But like, good luck commuting to Mars.
I get the spaceship full of gas.
That's too dope. So guys, this has been another episode of Great Fire Podcast. I'm your host, Trey Bate, aka Trey Bate Knows Boxing.
And I'm Willie Mack.
And of course, our very, very special guest from SupeRare Fight Goods, Dylan Lipari.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Awesome. We'll see you guys next time.